I'm Robin from the Vibrant Experience. I just want to welcome you to our video today. I have my friend Erin on with us today. Hi, Erin.
Hi.
And I've invited her on because she's gone on an amazing journey of always wanting to be a runner and really struggling to get that up and happening. And for the last year, she's been running consistently and solidly and has gone from hating running to absolutely loving running. Yep. And so we just wanted to share, she agreed to come on and share her journey with us. And so I'd just like to welcome you. So welcome, Erin.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. And yeah, it has been a long journey. It's been probably a 10-year journey.
Wow.
Yeah. So since having my last child, Bianca, she's 10 now, I have had I guess like you say, yo-yo dieting. I've had yo-yo exercising. So yeah, and I guess that went along with dieting as well. So I would, for a strong 3 months, I would diet, exercise like crazy, lose 10 kilos, and then I just couldn't keep it up. So and then I'll just put that weight back on eventually over the next few months, and then I'll just give up because it was just always so hard.
I know, so true.
But I think the hard thing was going extreme, because I completely tried to change my whole lifestyle overnight, and I just could not maintain what I was trying to do. So yeah, this time I guess over the years you learn a lot, like you pick up things along the way, and I'm the type of person that even though I don't put it into action, I do a lot of research. So, you know, I've researched how to eat healthy, I've researched how to run, the best type of exercises to do, but it didn't mean I always put it into practice. So I felt like I always had the knowledge, but getting off my butt to do it was a different thing.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think having young kids too, like it maybe it's an excuse, but I found it hard. Like I just wanted to prioritize them and not think about myself, which I think is kind of noble, but at the same time, you're neglecting your own health, and it's probably not the smartest thing to do. And I probably would have been a lot happier, a lot fitter, a lot more healthy if I had put myself first a bit more. But at the time I was like, no, just give it all to the children.
Yeah.
But now that, my youngest is 10, my oldest is 14, I feel like it's so much easier. Like I've got a lot more time now. I don't have to be home with them all the time. Yeah, so it's definitely made it a bit easier now that they're a bit older. Yeah,
for sure. I think a lot of mums will relate to that.
Oh, so yeah, 100%. And I think, there's always that balance of trying to juggle family life, but keeping a life for yourself as well. Like it can be quite tricky, because you don't want to be selfish, but yeah, I think with your health, it's important to be. Definitely. Yeah. So that's kind of been the struggle. Like I've always kind of enjoyed exercise, but not when I was doing it full on. So I've always wanted to be a runner, but every time I tried, I just felt like I sucked at it. Like I was the worst. And when I got to this stage now where I wanted to try it, I couldn't even run for 30 seconds without feeling like I was going to die. So it's a miracle that it's changed.
That's amazing. So was there something that shifted for you that there was, and it was did your why change at all, or did something shift for you to move from going through that cycle to?
Yeah, I think it was an accumulation of a few different things. Firstly, I saw photos of myself over the Christmas period, at Christmas. So not this Christmas, just gone Christmas before. Yeah. And I was disgusted. I was horrified. Like, I think you don't see yourself, I don't know, till you see a photo of yourself.
Yeah.
An angle that you haven't produced or put a filter over. I was not happy with that, but I hadn't been happy with how I looked for probably nearly 10 years. Like,
wow.
I didn't make it a massive, I didn't dwell on it, and it didn't make me depressed, because I realized there's more to life, and I was giving to my children, and I wanted to be happy. So I made the choice to not let it get to me. But at the same time, I think anytime I saw photos of myself, I hated them and hated how I looked, hated how I felt. And that was, over that Christmas period, was the biggest I've ever been. So seeing photos of me like that, just brought me to tears. And also, it was my 40th last year. And
wow.
for the last few birthdays I've had, when I look back at, when I saw photos of myself at those birthdays, I always hated how I looked, and I'd always be depressed around my birthday because I just felt like I still hadn't reached that goal. Like I've been trying every year, and that's I still looked in a way that I wasn't happy with. So I thought, coming to my 40th, I cannot be depressed on my birthday. That is the last thing that I want. I cannot do it. I cannot look at photos of myself and still be exactly the same way that I've been. So something had to change. Killing me. Like I would wake up every morning and I could hardly put my heels on the ground because they were so sore.
Oh, and really?
Sore knees. So, and I knew that it was just being overweight. Like I brought $250 pair of shoes that everybody raves about because they're supposed to be amazing for your feet. And for the first few months, it didn't do a thing. And I thought, it can't be the shoes. That's got to be me. Like, I think I'm just so overweight that the pressure is not good. And I'm only 39. Like, this has to change. I can't go another 40 years being the way that I am. So I think the culmination of all those three things was like, okay, when you get home from this holiday, because we were in Tassie at the time, you have to change your lifestyle, not go all out hard like you've done before with strict dieting and exercise. You need to make sustainable changes and lifestyle changes. So yeah, that's where I had to go into planning mode, and thankfully my husband Matthew came on board with me, because I think that helps, having someone kind of do it with you. I've always, I think, tried to do it on my own in the past, so that was really tough because everyone else, you know, would go out, they'd all have ice cream, and I'm like, why can't I have ice cream?
That's the hardest.
Yeah, so things like that. Like, so it was good to have him on board, at least for the first few months, to help us get into a pattern of how our lifestyle is going to change a bit. And then he lost all his weight, of course, overnight. So he kind of normal, but he was still being quite strict around me and helping me on my journey. So that was really yeah, that was definitely the turning point. So then I downloaded the app Couch to 5K, which is a running app. So I had done that in the past. I'd done that just after I had Bianca, actually. So 10 years ago, I downloaded the app. I got to the 5K and I ran in the Mother's Day Classic here in Canberra.
Okay.
Was really happy with it. Got 34 minutes and it was amazing. And I was super proud. But I think because I'd reached that goal, I just stopped overnight. It was like, okay, I'm done. That's it.
Yeah, like you've arrived.
Yeah, so then I just put all that weight back on.
So it was
so
frustrating.
Stupid, but yeah, so I knew that I knew I'd done it in the past and that I could do it again, even though I felt like I was going to die after 30 seconds of running. So yeah. So that program goes for, I think, around 12 weeks. So every week it builds up. So you might start with running for 30 seconds, walk for 2 minutes, run for 30 seconds, walk for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And running gets longer, the walking gets less, until you get to the point where you're running 5K in around 30 to 40 minutes. So yeah. So I did that. Some weeks I had to repeat because I just felt like I couldn't move on because I was still not fit enough to move on. So I would do a few weeks over and over until I felt like my fitness was getting better. Until I got to the point of running 5K. So it was a very momentous, proud moment. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I just think if someone like me who's, you know, been literally sitting on the couch for 10 years and not being able to do that, if I can do that and get to that point, I think anybody can, honestly. Because I hear so many people say, oh, I'm not a runner, I can never run, it's not my thing. I'm like, I used to say exactly the same thing. Like, there's no way I can run. I'm too overweight. I'm too unfit. Like, it's just not me. I'd rather go and do weights because I can be strong. So give me some weights, I'll do that. But running definitely, I think, is an overall health. Like weights, can get you strong arms or strong legs, but running is all over fitness thing. And And I guess another thing, actually, you were saying what was one of the turning points for running. I think turning 40, it wasn't just about losing weight anymore. It was, I kept saying, my first motto for the first month I started running was heart health. You're looking after your heart.
Oh.
Like, this is not about you looking good. It's not about you getting super fit. It's looking after your heart, because you want to live for the next 40 years.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't want to die early. And all the stats I'd read on, you know, heart health as you get older, I just thought, man, I'm really worried. Like, if I went and all over doctor tests, I'm sure they'd tell me my fitness is the age of a 50 to 60-year-old. So I thought, that's the first thing I need to fix and work on, is my heart health, and hopefully everything else will come from that. So yeah, that was another big incentive for me to get off.
Yeah, that's huge, because I think when you're young, you get away with so much. And then as you start to get older, you're like, hang on, this is actually getting serious, and this is affecting my day-to-day life and my health and, you know, how long I live and all of that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%.
So like you mentioned about using sustainable practices or doing it in a sustainable way. So what did that look like for you? Like, if somebody was starting out trying to do it sustainably, like, what does that look like?
So I think for me, so I think a big thing that helped me, which probably didn't help everybody else, but was COVID. I think being able to be home. So, because I work at a school, the kids were home, I got to be at home. My son had to do PE every day. So we had to do a workout routine with him, I think 3 times a week. And my daughter had to practice cross country. So we had to run 2K every day. So that also helped just make us go outside to do it with the kids and me do it with them. So that was a really big help. I think just for me to start, that was good that I had that time to do that. And I know that's hard when people don't have that much time. Like, I had all day, every day, to choose what time of day I wanted to go. So that made it kind of a lot easier. But I think once I started getting into the habit, I think that's what made it sustainable. Like, I would pick, I'm not an early morning person, so normally it would either be late afternoon or in winter in the middle of the day. So whenever I just had time. So I think the biggest thing that made it sustainable was not putting pressure on myself. So I think in the past it's been, I've had massive goals and I've pushed and pushed and pushed to get to that goal. But this time I just wanted to make it like 30 minutes every day, whether that's going out and riding the bike with the kids or going down to the play volleyball with the kids for half an hour, or go for a run. Like, running was my thing that I really started getting into. And I actually started, it's really weird because, and I know every runner says this, the more I ran, the more I couldn't stop thinking about it when I wasn't running.
Really?
So I would finish my run, and I'd be like, okay, where am I going to go tomorrow?
Wow.
What's that I can explore? And if I left it in the morning and I didn't go all day, I'd be thinking, when am I going? I've got to go. When am I going? I've got to go.
Wow.
I couldn't stop thinking about it. It was really bizarre. And I think it's just that runner's high, the energy that it gives you, the freedom that it gives you. Like, it just gave me so much drive to get out there.
Yeah.
And I think I really started enjoying it. Whereas in the past, it's just been hard work. And yeah, it was really hard to start with, but I think the fitter I got, it does get easier. And I think you learn to just adapt to, like, I guess you start getting used to the feeling of being breathless, the feeling of your legs aching, you know, but you can start pushing past that because you know that at the end it's going to feel amazing, or that it does get easier, that if I push now, tomorrow it's going to be easier because I've pushed. So I think just knowing that, and just progressing every few weeks, you know, just pushing a little bit further, going that bit further, kilometer wise, or getting a bit faster. I think that's just a big encouragement when you're doing that. Like, it gives you so much confidence. Another incentive that I found to really help me just find different ways to keep going with the running, was I started signing up for medals. So this is the first medal that I signed up for.
Awesome.
It's kilometers in a month. So that for me was huge, because that was running pretty much most days, at least 3 to 5K. So
wow.
I found signing up for something like this, even though at the start I thought, is this lame? Like, I'm ordering myself medals. But I like, the two things I like about it is I get a medal, so it's proof that I've done something, which is amazing. But also these places, the money that they raise for the medals goes towards charities. So I found that a really good incentive too, because I feel like I'm helping out different charities, but it's also an incentive for me to have some goals and to push on with my running. And I get a medal out of it. So I've now got a display wall of medals.
I love that. It's so important that we encourage ourselves, isn't it? Just to,
exactly.
Because you need that.
Yeah, and one of the other ones I got, I'll just show you as well. This one is Move for Dignity.
Okay.
So this one was Share the Dignity. You raise money for that. And yeah, the medals are just pretty. So yeah, the other challenge I did was Fred Hollow's foundation, where we raised money for his foundation, and I managed to raise over $1,000.
Wow.
Awesome.
That is amazing.
And I think because of the support of everyone sponsoring me, it pushed me to run further. So I think my original goal was 80 kilometers, because the best I'd done previously was 66. So I thought I'll do 80 kilometers of running, but then I got to that quite quickly and put it up to 100, got that easily. So then put up to 155, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was really good incentive, just having the backing up of other people and having a challenge, something to aim for. It really just pushed me to just go all out there. But then I had to be careful once that finished, because I didn't have a challenge the next month. So I just kind of dropped way back again with my running, which was fine. I think I needed a bit of a break after that month.
Yeah.
But I do need something to kind of challenge me to work towards, to make me get out there, because even though I love it and I think about it all the time, there are days where you just think, no, I'm sleeping in. No, my feet are sore. No, I have a little cough.
Yeah.
No, it's too hot. Like, you find every excuse under the sun.
So true. I love that you're giving yourself challenges that can really encourage you, and you're doing it for like a deeper purpose.
Yeah.
I think that's really awesome. Is there anything else that you use to help keep yourself motivated? And
yeah, definitely. There's I'm a part of now a lot of Facebook groups. So I'm in the Running Mums Australia group, the Mum Runners. They're the main two that I am on. And what I love about them is that there's like, I don't even know, hundred thousands people in it, women. So it's all women. They're so encouraging. It's like this amazing community that just all they want to do is power on each other.
wow.
And it can be intimidating, because some of the women on there are incredible, like do ultra marathons, and like my running distances are nothing compared to what they do. Some of them,
Really?
But then you get your everyday mum runners, just like me, who are starting with Couch to 5K, or who are celebrating that they ran 3 kilometers without stopping. And like, those people will get hundreds and hundreds of comments of praise and encouragement that, you know, you're doing amazing, keep up, you're going to be doing 5K before you know it. And so it's just really encouraging to be a part of a group like that, where you can put up your small achievements and everybody will celebrate it with you.
Wow. Yeah,
so those are the source information from as well. So if you've got questions. A few months ago, I did a 16-kilometer run, and then a few weeks ago, I did a 17-kilometer run. So I'm only 4 kilometers off doing a half marathon. So I could have just walked the last 4 and ticked it off the list and said I've done it, but I really didn't want to. I really want to be able to run it. So that's just an incentive to keep working on it, to keep kicking goals. Yeah, and so those Facebook groups are really good for helping with information in regards to that type of running, like what sort of nutrition do you need before and after and during, and how much water should you carry, and all that sort of stuff. Like, they're really valuable places to go because there are so many, well, I guess, experts in running
Yeah.
in that group. But yeah, but they're just so encouraging. So yeah, it's really good to have that as support as well.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. There's so many resources out there.
Yeah,
and
there is.
Yeah, anyone who's watching, like, I'll just include the websites that Erin's been speaking about just in the comments or in the description box if any of you guys are interested in clicking on that and finding out more information.
Yeah.
So that one of the things I wanted to ask you as well, that now that you've been consistently running and you're doing that as a regular thing and you're feeling better within yourself, how do you feel now? Like, what are the benefits from it, and how do you feel compared to how you were before?
It's amazing. Like, before I started running, I didn't think I had bad mental health. I didn't think I had an issue with mental health, but it has shown me how much getting out and exercising, I think it's the building of the confidence, knowing that you can achieve something, or that you've done it regardless of how you felt you could do it. So I think that part of the mental health side I really needed, because I could be quite down on myself, not out loud, just inside my own head, and be quite negative and put myself down, and just had no confidence, honestly. Like, I think I had confidence in who I was as a person on the inside, but how I felt on regards to the outside, my body and how I looked, and I had no confidence at all, and I would cover it up with big baggy clothes and a big smile and just try to be that happy person, you know. So it's definitely given me I've lost 20 kilos in the last year, and that was
well done.
Definitely with running helped, but also my nutrition. But so that's given me heaps more confidence, because I'm wearing clothes that I actually like now. I feel like I look nicer. I'm not as scared of the camera anymore. But yeah, and I think just feeling that sense of pride in what you're doing is really good for your mental health as well. And knowing that I'm inspiring other people as well, that's really amazing, because I never thought I could be that person in regards to exercise, because I've never been that. So to know that, you know, you started walking, and I know other people that have messaged me and said, I went for a run today because of all your posts about running. So just knowing that it's rubbing off and it's helping, it's really encouraging. And I think it's encouraging for just the everyday person to see someone like myself getting up and just having a go. And I may not be the fastest, and I may not go the longest, but I'm doing it. I'm getting out regardless of how I feel. Some days I get out and I do it. And so apart from the mental health, definitely physical, like I feel my feet don't hurt anymore, my knees don't hurt anymore. Apparently I don't snore anymore.
Because that's a bonus.
Yeah, but even like my skin is clearer. I don't get cramps in my legs anymore, which is weird, because you think as a runner I'd probably get more cramps, but all my cramps have gone away, and I think it's because they're constantly stretched and worked now, that they're not tight and sore because they're never being used. So so definitely so many benefits, like mental, physically, and just having the kids join in as well. They don't always love it, but when we were doing it quite regularly, my son Aiden was getting really good. He's faster than me in a 5K, so it's just nice to have that as well, you know, to do it as a family.
And then that encourages them also to take care of their health and
definitely
physical activity.
So lots of perks. I definitely recommend it.
Well, that's awesome. Is there anything else, just as we sort of wrap it up, is there anything else that you'd like to share?
Well, I think just for people still thinking after watching this, that's great for you, but I just can't do it. I'm just not a runner. Like, I really do think of those people. And it's funny. It reminds me of my mum, because my mum, she's goes for walks all the time. She's a good walker. And she keeps saying, oh, I can't run. No, I can never run. And I keep wanting to say to her, and I'll say it now, Mum, just start with 30 seconds. Like, just run for 30 seconds and then walk for 2 minutes and then run for 30 seconds. And after you've done that a few times, work up a little bit more. And I know it is harder for older people, and different people can do different things. So I'm not saying everybody can do it, but I'm saying you don't know unless you give it a try. So I would encourage you to maybe download the Couch to 5K app and just give it a go. And even if you've got to do the first week, 3-4 weeks in a row, like, at least it's better than sitting on the couch. Like, you are getting outside. And the other thing, and I posted on Facebook the other day actually, was that the hardest thing about exercise, I think, is putting on your shoes and walking out the front door. If you can get your shoes on, walk out the front door, that is half the battle. Because I think once you're out there, you start feeling good and you start thinking, okay, well, I'm out here anyway. Instead of walking, how about I just run for 30 seconds and then I'll walk and then I'll run for 30 seconds. Like, it's just those tiny small steps, I think, that really help with getting you to achieve more than what you think you can. So I would encourage anyone to start just like that, just as simple as that.
Yeah, that's awesome. I actually remember when I was doing all my walking in winter and it was really cold, and I was thinking, no, I've just got to get out there. And you're so right, like, getting your shoes on and getting dressed is actually the hardest part mentally, weirdly. But as soon as I got out the door and I got down to the end of my driveway, I just sort of started to get into a rhythm. And I was like, oh, actually, I'm feeling really good now. And I can do that there, and you start to perk up.
Yeah, and I think the flow-on effect from doing that too is, once you've been out and done that, when you get home, you don't want to eat fatty food or fast food. You want to eat healthier, because you feel like, I've done something good for my body. I need to continue this now. I need to drink a liter of water. I need to eat something healthy. And so it just has this flow-on effect of wanting to continue to look after your body. And it can get addictive. Like I've said, like, I think about my next run and I just can't wait to go. And then I think once you do start getting determined and getting into it, and I shared with you a few weeks ago, but my word now for my motivation is regardless. So regardless of how I feel, regardless of the weather, regardless of fear of what people might think, regardless of any excuses that I might have, get out the door. Like, just do it, no matter what it is. Just regardless of any excuse you might have, go and do it, because no excuse is really good enough. You've got to look after your health. It's really important. And I'm still working on that. I'm not saying it's not easy. And, and even yesterday, I put off my run till 11:30, which was stupid, because then it was like 30 degrees. And I
was so hot.
died, and that was my own fault, because I was awake at 7 and I didn't go. I didn't listen to those. I mean, I did listen to those excuses and procrastinated. So, yeah. Definitely, you've got to find your little mottos, your little sayings that help you to get through it.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And I love that word, regardless. It's such a powerful word to use. It's a really good one. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Erin, for coming on and sharing your running story and your health journey, and just how you're feeling now, and just what it's done for your mental health as well, not just your physical health. I think that's I didn't think about that as an outcome, and now that you've said it, I was like, actually, it's such an obvious outcome, but not one you necessarily think of.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, well, thank you very much for having me. It's nice to be able to share my story, and I hope that it does inspire people just to get moving, whether it doesn't even have to be running. Like, find something that you enjoy. And I've just gotten into dragon boating too, which I'm absolutely loving. So that's just another fun exercise thing that I'm getting into, and trying new things. And I think that's another perk of what running has done for me mentally. It's made me a bit braver. Like, it's helped me to just try something new, to get out there and give stuff a go, because I've just got this little bit more confidence than I used to have. So
yeah, I love that. Get ready for adventures. And I think too, like, do you feel like because you're feeling more physically capable, you feel like you can give those things a go?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on, Erin. And I hope that's encouraging to everybody. And like I mentioned before, I'll have all the websites and different links Erin's mentioned in the description. And thanks for joining us. Bye, everyone.